It's okay. He's already broken it. If you've read my other post, you know about my daughter and her additional needs. I also have 2 boys and this happened at the eldest boy's 2nd birthday party. I had a friend who was an EP. Her kids were a nightmare, to the point where I made my wedding a 0-kid event just so she wouldn't bring her kids. They were horrible kids, completely entitled and just generally rude. At the party, they turn up, and EP immediately goes to start drinking. We had some alcohol, because a lot of the people coming didn't have kids, so we thought we could carry on hanging out after the kids went to bed. She went out on the balcony, and just stayed out there ignoring her son. Cast is the usual: EP, EK, 7 years old, me, H, my husband, and S, my son. I was on the balcony greeting her and chatting to another friend when my husband calls to me saying he needs me. He was in the kid's bedroom, so I went out to him. Me, what's up? H, just look, he was raging. I looked down and EK had grabbed some of our collectible toys and ripped them out of their packaging. I was shocked. Not only had he done that, but he had put the leftover packaging on my son's bed. He was on the floor playing with the toys. My son had been on the balcony with me previously, so I knew this had nothing to do with him. Me, EK, what are you doing? Ekes opened them and I'm playing. Me, no he didn't. He was with me. Ek, he did. In his bed. This obviously is complete BS. So I took the toys off him, grabbed the packaging and put them out of the way. I went to let EM know. Me, EK opened up some of our collectibles to play with. EMAWW, is he having fun? Me, no. I took them off of him. He shouldn't be playing with them. They're collectible. EM, well, they're open now. Might as well let him have them. Me, no. They're away now. He can play with something else. She threw me a filthy look and went to grab another beer. My son is still on the balcony, playing with a magnetic sketchboard he got for his birthday. She comes back, fresh beer in hand and EK in the other. MEK, just stay here so I can watch you. Ek then turns around, grabs the sketchboard off my son and starts drawing. S starts crying. Me, Ek. S was playing with that. You shouldn't snatch. I'll show you where the other toys are you can play with. EM, God, he can't do anything here, can he? Me, whoa. Calm down, EM. I just don't want him snatching and breaking our stuff. I think that's fair. EK had written in a childish garble, I want to go home on the sketchboard. EM called him a little shit and then went on to tell me how clever and advanced he is. EM, well, I'm gonna have one more beer and then we will go. I basically ignored her for the next hour. I was glad when she left. It turned out that in the space of that hour she drank another beer and had got into some whiskey that was being saved for the evening. She left a quarter of a bottle, and an expensive bottle at that. EK managed to piss off 3 other parents in that space of time too. Picking on other kids, snatching toys, breaking toys. I was so relieved when they left. The only saving grace was that she hadn't bought her youngest EK, because things would have been a lot worse. Me, what laptop does he have? EM, a PS4. Okay, so in my room, I have a 60-pound gaming laptop cooler that I saved up for a few months. I bought it as my laptop overheated quite often due to extensive hours on it, including to game and study. So, my mum had guests come over for socializing with, and one Karen brought a little hellspawn into my room to babysit without asking me first, as apparently I was available. Yeah, I totally didn't have to study for the end of year exams. So they started touching my stuff, but I did not really bother until one brat asked, me equals me, M equals my mummy, M equals entitled mum, B1 equals brat 1, B2 equals brat 2, B1. Oh, can have that? ME. thinking he was talking about the laptop. No way. It's mine. B2. No. That thingy. Pointing to the laptop cooler. Me. You can't have that either, it's quite expensive, but you could ask your mum to buy you one. The brats rush downstairs. I think to ask their mum to buy them one and return to my room with frowns. B1. Mummy says we can't have one. Me. Well, what do you want me to do? It's not my problem. B2. You could give us yours. Me. I already said no. Stop it and get out of my room. I'm busy. The brats go downstairs with annoying sniggers which I don't pay much attention to. Oh boy, here comes Karen. EM. Hi. I'm sorry, but can we have your thing? Me. My laptop cooler? EM. Yes, that. Can we have it? Me. Of course not. Leave my room now. EM. Will this change your mind? Fishes out a pathetic £5 note and a £2 coin. Me. Number. It won't. It's £60 and if your kids want one, buy it yourself. EM. BBBUUT, I can't afford IT. And he's only a kid, give IT to him right now. Me. Oh really? What laptop do your kids have? EM. A PS4. Me. Laughing so hard inside. That's not a laptop, now go before I call my mum to sort this. EM. Well he still needs IT for his arms. He gets hot really quickly. Me. Okay. MUMMM. M. What's wrong, honey? Me. This lady is trying to take my cooler. M. How dare you? Leave my son. Wait, who are you? EM. Leaving her kids and runs away but tripped on the stairs. Then my mother calls the police. It turns out that somehow she thought that it was a public party and got arrested on several charges with her brats fostered. I thought to myself, damn, that's the craziest woman I have ever seen. I should let this woman some violate me warning, this could trigger someone. Obligatory, I'm on mobile and don't know how to format very well. This happened when I was 7. I'm 27 now, and I won't remember most of the details. Also it's long. Anyway, I was living in Seattle with my parents in one of those townhouse complexes. One of those places that's basically just a bunch of houses connected to one another in a row. And my neighbors were good people for the most part. Except for one family. The dad was cool and actually had a head on his shoulders. Thank fucking God. The mom and the son, however, you all know the lingo. M equals entitled mom, ek equals entitled kid, dad equals awesome dad. Dad equals my dad, me equals the goober telling this tale. The son is a piece of work, he bullied me relentlessly and constantly bugged me and my sister when we were playing. Today my sister was at a friend's, so I was playing by myself in the complex's playground when Ek shows up. He's around 13 at the time and he's just coming into puberty, I guess, and decided to attempt to worm his way closer to me. This is where it might get triggering, and honestly this is hard to talk about. This kid tries calling a truce with me and asks to play with me, swearing on every higher power that he means well. Me being a stupid kid believes him because I just want an excuse to not be bullied. We start monkeying around on the playset that's there and he brings up the idea of a game. Me being a stupid kid get curious at the idea of a game despite being weary of his past actions. A little background about the area surrounding my complex. There's a small wooded area to behind the play area, with 3 busy streets framing the whole area. Honestly, that's the most trees I've ever seen in that concrete jungle. This is the area he proposed his game. We go back to these woods and go to the thickest part of the trees and he tells me to close my eyes and open my mouth after telling me to get on my knees. Yeah, he did what you think he did, and I bit it hard. Being a kid, I didn't like what was suddenly in my mouth and decided to bite it, not knowing what had just happened. He screamed and punched my right in the top of the head and knocked me out. I remember being picked up by my dad and brought home, and he was pissed. I had blood going down the side of my head and I was confused about what was happening. Info he gave me later. The rest of the story is from information that dad told me. He apparently finished cooking dinner and was calling for me. Knowing I had a history of climbing the nearby trees because a game stupid kid, he went looking for me and found me bleeding and unconscious. He managed to wake me up and asked Doughty what happened, to which all I could say was X name. He brought me home and stormed over to the kid's house, banging on the door, furious that his only son had been hurt, not knowing what to expect. This is how the conversation went according to Dad. What the fuck do you want? I'm tending to my son, he's hurt, so this had better be good. Dad, you damn fucking right this is good, and I want an explanation as to why my 7-year-old was bleeding and unconscious in the woods and saying that your son did it. Clearly pissed too. What in the absolute fuck are you talking about? That animal bit my son's penis. I'd say he got what he deserved. Dad growing even more angry and yelling, what in the hell was your 13-year-old son's penis doing in my 7-year-old's mouth? Shouldn't I be asking you that, you piece of shit? We all watch that little weirdo you call a son playing by himself, or with that little shit he calls a sister. We all know that this is something that fucking child would do. I'm still confused as to how someone can be this stupid. Me dad was so furious he told her he will be back when he is less pissed so he doesn't cold cock her and end up regretting it, and goes home to tend to me. An hour later, after Dad found out I'm fine and don't need to go to the hospital, the ad shows up at our door. He's wondering why his wife is furious and why my dad needed a poof before he knocked a bitch out. He explained what happened and the rest I heard from the living room. Ad, why was my son's penis in your son's mouth? That doesn't make sense. Dad, my thoughts exactly, but your wife thinks that it's my 7-year-old's fault this happened. A game 7 years old. What 7-year-old is thinking about trying that shit? Ad, I think I need to go home and have a chat with my wife and son. Ad went home and had a screaming match with his wife for 5 hours. WR could hear it over my Nickelodeon shows 4 houses down. He comes back asking we don't press charges against his son. My dad agrees so long as the kid never bothers me again. Ad agrees and goes home. We moved a month later, but the family got a divorce and the dad kept the boy. Anyway, that's my Ed story. And holy fick does that feel good to get off my chest. Edit 1. Holy hell, didn't expect this to blow up like it did. Thanks for the gold, random person. Edit 2. To answer one question I see a lot. Yes, this is still affecting me as an adult. I'm a 27-year-old male that has a deep hatred for teenagers because of that kid. I'm trying to work and get over it because I know that they all aren't him, but to quote a pretty decent band, teenagers scare the living shit out of me. Well everyone, that's our Entitled Parents. Hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe if you want to see crazy Reddit videos that will change your life. Share the video to help a small YouTuber out and come back for more.